back. I'm Jason. Today's project is going to be putting dual batteries on the Pro XP. Shouldn't be too hard. What's nice about it is that these, let me get some light here. Should have thought ahead. These already have room allotted for a second battery. There's even the appropriate holes for mounting down your strap. This is the kit that I got from Vevor, however you say it. It was like 45 bucks. It's got everything that you need to have an isolator. My understanding is that the way the isolator works is you've got a starting battery and you've got an accessory battery. Once the starting battery starts the truck and is recharged, then the voltage sensitive relay, they call it, switches over so that then it charges up what they would be calling like the house battery on an RV. So that all the accessories, everything runs off of your second battery or the house battery. And so you're parked and you're using your accessories, it'll only pull current out of that second battery, saving the fully charged battery for starting, which is perfect. I think it's gonna give me a lot of peace of mind while I'm out playing around. So sure, I'm gonna set up the camera and get to work. I'm not really sure what kind of problems we'll have along the way, but shouldn't be too bad. Playing with electricity, that's always fun. So I do know that in this well where this battery is going to go, you see it's set up so that the battery fits in. Now the new battery I got is the right group size, but it's just a hair too wide to fit down in there. So rather than trim the plastic on this, which would be nice because then it really locks the battery down. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to use some of this heavy belting rubber that I got my hands on to basically raise up the battery so it doesn't fit down into you know, where it's supposed to fit down in there and lock it in. And then once I make my strap, I got some aluminum strap from the hardware store. A lot cheaper than buying a tie-down kit off the internet. Now I can make my own strap, whatever length, and then it'll hold it down tight enough, and I may make some sort of a gap filler to go in between the batteries. So essentially it'll be locked down just as tight. All right, I think I'm gonna start with cutting that spacer that I'm gonna need. It doesn't have to fit in here tight. It just needs to take up some of that space. So 6 inches by 7. This stuff's pretty tough. It's got like a fabric in there. Like I said, I think it's some sort of industrial belting rubber. Found it in the trash.
You little trash picker.
It's good for all kinds of stuff. And it was free. Voila. Oh yeah, that's gonna do the trick just fine. tip when you're doing this, you, even with, you know, even with no regard to this, if this was not mounted yet, you can't get a battery in. You can't stick this battery in and then think that you're gonna put a battery in here. You have to put it in this side and scooch it over. So last night I was fiddling around thinking I could just assemble some of this. It was a mess. So put the battery in here and then move it over and then put in your start battery. Beautiful. Yeah, that little spacer, that rubber spacer that I put down here, that's doing the trick. She's nice and level. Actually, it's catching just enough here that once I make my strap, we should be solid on that. All right, let me get the start battery. So I'm fighting with these two studs. Basically, I didn't want to load up the terminals on the battery with just some of the things that I was installing right after I got the machine, and I just wanted to get them hooked up, and that's why they're not soldered and shrink wrapped, and so the wires are junk. I'm not going to pull them out just yet, but I'm going to strip all this crap off, because I need to, if I'm going to keep running these, I need to rebuild the wires anyway. Okay, both batteries are setting there. I've got I think they call this a VSR, voltage sensitive relay. This is like the brains that keeps these separate, charges this one, then switches all the duties over to the second one for accessories. I bought this just aluminum strap from the hardware store. That's what I intended on. That's what I intended on making the hold down strap out of. But when I went to bend it, it's oh, that's a little close. It's too thick. It's too thick, and it's just cheap. So it broke. Wasn't gonna work. But I've got scraps of, just, you know, nobody throws away nothing if you like playing this game. So I've got this old sheet of aluminum, and it worked out pretty good. Where did I put it? Here we go. Here's the strap that I came up with. I didn't see the point in filming bending, trimming, drilling, whatever. It's not real interesting. It was a chore for me, so why would you want to watch that? But it works out pretty good. Well, as well as I can expect. Since this battery is taller, in the back here, there's a gap. So, I mean, we've all got our little junk bins, and I happen to have a spacer. I happen to have a spacer that fits just perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that down, and then I think it's down to just hooking back up battery cables and seeing if it works. Okay, to wrap up this dual battery setup, what I'm filming now is quite a bit in the future from where the video started, because I needed a reason to take apart all this. So in any case, what makes this work is that it's getting the power, well, the power that's being supplied by this battery goes up to the bus bar underneath the dash. I pulled it from here on the, because, you know, this is just the little fuse block or whatever that's underneath the center console. But the lead that comes all the way up, blah, 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 hooks onto here. That is what supplies power to the bus bar. And it was long enough that I was able to just pull it through existing hole and then around, plumb it in. So that means that this battery supplies power to any of the accessories that you have wired into your bus bar, and the relay separates the two batteries. So you can run this dead and it won't touch the voltage on your battery. This battery is essentially just for starting. And after you start the vehicle, once this reaches a full charge, then your voltage sensitive relay will switch over. There's a light that comes on, and then it'll start charging this one. It's a nice system if you've got whips. It's a nice system if you've got whips. Sorry, I'm a sweaty mess. Or you like to listen to your tunes with the ignition off, any of that sort of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do my best to illustrate how this dual battery setup functions with the that voltage sensitive relay with my multimeter. These are supposed to apparently measure multiple things. So let me see if I can get the camera on this and show you how it works, because I think it's functioning as it's supposed to. Okay, so multimeter set at volts DC, obviously. This is the secondary battery, or the house battery, the one that's wired just to the bus bar underneath the dash that would run all the accessories. So 12.76. We switch it over to the starting battery. This one should just take the task of starting the engine and not run any of the accessories. $12.76. Now I'm going to turn on accessories that should just draw power from the house battery, secondary battery, and not touch the starting battery. Alright, so that stayed. It didn't change with the accessories on. Let's check the house battery. Leads are hooked up. 12.72. Now, I'm going to turn these on. We'll see if it changes. Alright, I hope that illustrates how the two batteries are separate. And now I'm going to hook up the leads to the start battery. No, scratch that. I'm going to leave the leads hooked up to the house battery, and I'm going to start it, and it should not drop voltage on the second battery because it's only using the primary battery for starting. So if you couldn't hear it, the multimeter fell because I started the razor and it vibrated, whatever. But you could see that it didn't drop, so it's not using any of the voltage from the house battery to start it. And then I'm going to show you now, hopefully, how the relay connects the two when we're charging, well when the razor is charging the primary battery. All right, so right here, I'm pointing out with the screwdriver, there's a LED light that when this light lights up, that means that the relay has connected to two batteries. So I'm gonna hook up the charger to, just because the razor just obviously charges, right now it's set up just to charge the starting battery. Once this is fully charged, the relay should connect the two, and then it starts charging this one as well. Leads are connected. All right, I had to use the shadow too. That light's not real bright, but you can see how as soon as I turned on charging, since the starting battery is already full, it immediately connects the two batteries so they can start charging up the battery that we use for our accessories. So basically, that's it in a nutshell. It wasn't very hard. The worst part about all of this, to be honest, is pulling the plastics out so that you can have access to the power wire, the power cord that goes to the bus bar. Other than that, yeah, batteries aren't cheap. You got to pay to play. I made my own strap. It comes with the cables and the cost for the relay, and it kind of sucks to add basically more dead weight to the machine. So basically, you're adding weight that doesn't make it go any faster, doesn't make it stop any faster, but it's just insurance. We like to put lights, we like to have stereos, all these things that, let's be honest, sometimes we forget that they've been running for the last hour while you're hanging out with friends. This protects it so that you don't run down your battery that starts the machine. That's why I did it. I hope that you found something useful in this video if you're thinking about doing it. It wasn't hard. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks again for watching.